take you all around these parts, boy, let's take a ride. Yeah, I put that on Wayne, that's on Shay the God. 12 o'clock on Banshees, that's how we making time. You might see squads, cause bikes bring bonds. I'm like, they gotta know the boys from Harlem to Baltimore. You can hear the went by the plastic scraping on the floor. I'm trying to show them more than posting at that corner store. You just gotta hit the gas, homie, all in all. I know this bike life, I know what this life like. I'm flipping that throttle, streets got me feeling like Mike. Right. I'm talking A5 to Cherry Hill. For years they heard about the stories and we legends still. Let's take a ride from my side to your side. Let's take this worldwide. Let's take a ride. Ooh, let's take a ride. Oh, this for Willie Wayne and this for Shay. Let's take a ride. Ooh, let's take a ride.
Deuce in my booth, Timberlands in the goose. Play me and I'ma shoot, bullet aim at your roof. Bishop, I want these niggas on Joker time. Starving, I'ma hunt for mine. Focus, I be on my grind, cross the line. Deuce in my booth, Timberlands in the goose. Play me and I'ma shoot, bullet aim at your roof. Bishop, I want these niggas on Joker time. Starving, I'ma hunt for mine. Focus, I be on my grind, cross the line. Hungry, I need this food. You better not make a move. Hey, you should play it smart or end up a dead fool. Cause trucks, I got my tool.
Hey, yo, why I ain't got one of them shirts?
It's Dirtbike James.
But why I don't have one?
I don't know, man. You gotta get it from Dirtbike James family. Nah, somebody who gave me the shirt? Grip gave me the shirt. I get you one.
Yeah, I need one of them.
Gotta get a Dirtbike James.
Yeah,
I got a Dirtbike James cap too. Team Christmas.
Yeah, see,
we gotta get James one with an arm cramp though. People don't know about
you
the
on
arm
some
cramp.
bullshit. That's all right. That's all right.
Well, go talk to James later, man. Just have a little close your eyes, James. I get my shirt.
I'm at to call his people, man. I need my shirt.
Oh man,
who we got today, man? Who we got today?
Man, let's go into deep Harlem legends, and and check you test your history. We test theirs.
We can do that.
Let's do that. All right, let's go.
History 101.
History 101. We're gonna go into deep Harlem history. Guys who was riding in the 80s. Okay, there you go with the jeans, matching jeans suit. The matching jeans suit.
We ain't gonna do that also.
I thought you're gonna go all the way with the collar up, everything. Yeah. They probably wondering. I think the viewers right now are like, who is this? He ain't rolling no dirt bikes. He was singing. Pull up a little bit to the mic.
What album cover did I see him on?
Oh man, this Rell Mackey. Tell the people who you are, where you from.
Oh man, I'm Rell Mack from Harlem. Definitely got to know who I am. I've been out here all my life as a kid, doing all the shit that we like to do. And bikes just one of the things I did real good at from a young age.
Oh man, you definitely was I'm gonna do this a little different because I know so much about you, but I'm gonna kind of pass the buck to Wayne a little bit, pass it back because. Your boy a historian. Now, when him and Al Capone was up here, it was.
But New York was never
we the first to do it. We did it.
But y'all was never the dirt bike capital.
How could we not?
We invented the name.
We the first did it.
Y'all never called yourself the capital. We started calling ourselves the capital.
I don't care if you call us Agua.
We started it.
Microphone.
We debate all day.
So what did you think about that before I pass it to him? What was your take on that?
I saw them two going at repping their cities on who was the first ones to do something.
Right.
And the debate was, you can't really say it came from New York because
you was
in New York, but when we was in Baltimore doing what we was doing, we felt like how y'all felt when y'all was up here.
And it was no social media, no
and
cameras, and nothing to prove it.
And we still was doing us. Exactly. And I kind of understood it and I dig it. But when you from New York, you feel you first doing everything.
You can say that right now.
You think you're the first doing everything in New York. I ain't gonna lie. It's the truth. That's why we come up with this, this type of swag, this type of cachet that we carry with ourselves.
You know what? One of his arguments is constantly is that word dirt bike capital. See, Baltimore, that's a big we call ourselves the dirt bike capital, and he keeps saying, "Y'all can't be the dirt bike capital." I'm like, why can't we be the dirt bike capital? He's like, because we was doing it first. I'm like, one, it ain't no way to prove that.
Right.
I'm like, two, it don't matter who was doing it first. If we called ourselves the dirt bike capital, then goddamn it, that's our name. Absolutely. Like if your name is Shay and my name is Shay, you gonna tell me my name can't be Shay because his name was Shay first?
Right.
Like no, that's not how it goes.
Right. So now, bro, I'm gonna make this easy for you. Pass it to Wayne. I'm gonna come back.
Okay.
Now listen, will y'all see eye to eye. We see eye to eye because we are from the era. He's from the era.
Right.
He was a Honda man.
Absolutely. CR.
He's Honda man all day. So.
Yeah, back then, CR.
Now, something he put me on to, he could follow up as well. You know you're a mechanic.
Nah, I didn't know.
Oh, no, he's a mechanic. Stone Cold fix all the bikes in the city of Baltimore. Stone Cold mechanic. He was like, yo, brakes was terrible on the 85s in the 80s. What did you think? Do you remember brakes?
Yeah, the brakes was bad on the CR. Definitely. They go out.
Honda made
what year CR you had, Rell?
I had a 92.
What do you think about the
I still
92
got one
CR?
of them.
Yeah, I had a 92.
Still got one.
Right.
Still got one.
I got a 92, 93, a 95, 91, and a 07.
That's crazy. Yeah, I had fucking CR, and God bless my man Junior Blackhat took my CR. Burned the piston out.
You know what, Junior Black?
You know what though? The piston and rings will go out on the CR and still run.
Yeah, the shit was still running, but when Junior Black gave it to me, my shit was dead. So we took it out to the spot in Brooklyn, and I got all DG pipes. Right, got the DG.
I was talking about DG pipes yesterday.
DG was the way
they was some ugly motherfuckers, but they rolled good as shit.
Right.
What?
But they was ugly as hell.
Right. So I goes to get the bike from being fixed, and of course I try to throw the motherfucker out.
Mm-hmm. Back brakes.
Fell right on my ass right away.
You didn't have the back brake back then?
Nah, I ain't had no real back brake control.
Okay.
I knew to tap it, but when I tapped it, it was just to put it down. It wasn't like to keep the bike in, in the
now
air.
see, that was something that I always gave. New York was always tapping the brake before we was doing it. We wasn't doing it.
Right.
You had one person in my city who probably was tapping the brake.
Who was that?
And that was Lord Net.
Okay.
And he was doing that. That was like 92.
Right.
Anything be foot in, and matter of fact, after him, nobody really started tapping the brake until something like 96.
Damn.
Nobody even knew what he was doing back in 92. Nobody knew.
So you take that. This is why I debate. I debate with a lot of homies on your block. I debate with a lot of homies in New York.
Right.
So I say, like, I always had back brake, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I am nowhere near half as advanced as these dudes.
Yeah, these dudes.
But I'm nowhere near. I don't even care about it. But we had the shit so
just
far
call it like
back.
it is. Just say you washed up.
Yeah, I'm definitely definitely. But I'm gonna make a valid comeback. But I'm definitely that.
Okay.
I still got the heart, but I'm not even like I got. He be on me about the shit. Like, come on, what are you doing? Let's get it on. But to move the story forward is just that. Yeah, we was advanced. We had back brake and all that, but the shit that they do when we already had the one up. They took the one up and just raised the bar. So what's your take on that?
Oh no, these dudes is hybrid compared to whatever we thought we was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Why you say that?
because they ride the bike like they riding it on, like the wheels is on the ground. They in the air with the calmness of you riding the bike. That's the beauty of when they ride. Like when you see them playing and going in and out of traffic, or like it's just fun waving their arms. People do that when they ride a bike with the two wheels on the ground. That's a beautiful thing to have when you got that much confidence in the air, doing 45 to 55 miles an hour, and you just could wave and hello, what's up? You talking to the camera. We was motherfucking tense on that shit. We was tight. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't smooth like that. I'm gonna be realistic.
That's one thing I always hated about New York
He
riders.
hated the arms up like that.
Hated that form.
The form
All
the
New
form
York
was
riders
crazy.
roll with their arms up.
Yo, but you know what too, right?
Like that.
To follow what Wayne said, our one-handers consisted of
Just hello.
that was it. Like
Yeah.
I did a one-hander.
That was it.
I swear I hated
swag
that.
to the one-hander. The only person I ever seen that had swag with a one-hand, and it wasn't even on a dirt bike, it was just Wink.
Yeah.
He just had that level of swag, but
Yeah.
go ahead, finish though, bro.
Wink was a different type of animal on bikes with us, because when he came up,
He was before his time.
He was way before his time. Wink go back because I came when I first started watching bikes. My first person seeing on a bike was LA and Ali Mo.
Kokomo,
And Ali Mo when they was riding in the dirt field on 145th when they was building the thing, and Ali Mo tried to jump off the hill and came down, broke his wrist. He's the first one, and this was like '82. He had a YZ with the number 1 plate.
Yeah, LA had, and they
Back
had the
then,
YZ, the 82 YZ.
with the one plate on it, and we was like, damn, that shit was like that was my introduction, saying, yo, I want to ride a bike like that, because at the time I had one of the elite.
Right.
The little scooters.
Oh, the scooters, yeah.
We was on that shit. So when we saw LA and Ali Mo riding in the park, we was like, oh, and then Lil calling them from 18th and 19th with the Shack crew.
Right.
Them niggas started riding, and they had like 3 or 4 bikes, but they was getting money, so they just bought bikes for fun. They couldn't ride really good
They
at that
couldn't ride
particular
it,
time,
just buy
but they
them
just
'cause they
bought
can.
them just to buy
Right.
them. And that was like our introduction into warning bikes. You know what I'm saying?
That's
But-
how this
but
shit
Wink
was down
was-
my end.
To bring it back to Wink, when they was riding, Wink was already wheeling and shit
Doing
back
shit.
then.
Yeah. He
And
was.
then
It's like Wink, they never have a learning
Yeah,
process.
we like,
He
Wink,
just
what was
already
your
was
process?
nice. He just came into the game
What?
nice
This nigga was-
already.
We was looking at niggas just riding. This nigga was already willing, and then when we all started getting into bikes, this nigga was on motorcycles doing it. And I'm gonna give Shay credit because even when we started getting nice in the '90s, Shay moved to that's how he got 1100.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right.
He moved to the motorcycles. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people
With
who go
no
back,
with no jobs.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah,
My
but
man
that was
Buster
the
was
thing.
like, "Why did you say that?"
Yeah, that
But
was the thing.
but what I'm saying is that because this is definitely powerful. Like even about me and Dirtbike James, but James was phenomenal in his era for what he did. You know, but James had the wheelies was this high.
Absolutely.
A
James
lot
was
of people don't know he had the wheelies this high.
He had the baby
He
boys.
had the wheelies. Now look,
James
I
was-
took James to Baltimore.
James was hilarious.
James is up. James.
Team motherfucking crispy, niggas. Yeah. I'm the general of this shit, nigga. Get with me. Get the fuck with me. Yeah. I got them up here for y'all fellas. Come on and come get these Jones, man. Stop playing. Stop riding them old hoopties, man. Come get you a fresh new Jones. Stop playing games, man. Treat yourself.
He would be on James' case.
Okay.
So when
James
James came to
was
Baltimore one
hilarious.
time, I'm like, yo, James. I was telling James, like, yo, I'm riding the B-More. You know, it's a little safer for me to ride there. You know, I have my personal issues.
Right.
It's a little safer for me to ride there. Yo,
Right.
James, we ride for hours. James like, I'm going to come. James came out there. It was like, arm cramp.
He rode.
What you mean?
He literally rode for 10 minutes.
Yo, he rode for 10 minutes. I was
10 minutes and started doing like this.
it's cramping. It's cramping.
I
But you
can't-
know,
I can't
it was.
ride no
But I
more.
just wanted him to experience what I was experiencing because you know it was dope to see him do all that time in prison,
And then
come home, and
Jump on the
he
bike.
jumped back onto the bikes. You know,
Right.
he like I remember one time my Buster called me. Buster's like, "Hey, James, let's talk about he got the crackhead washing this bike." I said, "You know, he think he in
He think he
80s,
80 something.
he think he's 80 something." But
Yeah.
that era, I mean, being that you somebody who really from the era, because Wayne doesn't know you rode bikes with no shirt.
Right, no question. That was my swag.
Like yo,
You know,
Rell
so
never
that's
had
how
a shirt.
Big Bob.
Yo,
That's
he
how
never
Big Bob.
wore-
We got Big
Rell, did
Bob.
you wear a tank top or just?
Nah, because I felt like this, right? This is what I felt like, right? I was like,
He was
I'm
making
gonna
an
let
album cover.
niggas. I'm gonna let niggas know I'm nice because if you fall and you ain't got on no shirt, your shit gonna be
Gonna
ruined.
be a
Right.
what they call them back then,
So-
ravioli boys.
Right.
Yeah.
So you know, I felt that at a particular time. I was so nice at that time. You know what I'm saying? On far as willing, I knew I wasn't gonna fall no more. So I used to come out with no shirt on. You know, I was in good shape. You know,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
chicks, you know, it was a thing where we
Fall,
we
hop
go
in the
we go from the car
Fall,
to the
hop in the
bike.
convertible.
Right?
You had
get
the good convertible at the
yeah.
time.
So it was a whole little scheme for the day. You know, the girls out, you go by 55th, you slow willing by 55th, the chicks see you, you get out of that, you go to your BM.
Go get your beer.
then you
Come
come
go
back
back
around
from
the
that,
block.
go to
Yeah.
my Willie's later on and start gambling. It was a whole movie with riding bikes, and bikes was just like the start of the day for us. So me riding without a shirt, you know, I could come out later on. It was like, oh, that nigga must be doing it because you know I was in the air at all times. Once I
Yeah.
got it.
We used to be the same way with it, but most of the time we ain't want to even get in the cars.
Yeah,
We
Right.
stay on the bikes all day, all night. We get in
Now-
the cars
yeah.
late night.
Mhm.
But what
Had
they
everything
city
shut
was, it
down.
would trick me out with that because we never had dirt bike groupies.
Nah,
We didn't really
man.
have that. Like they had that.
Yeah, that's
I
crazy.
seen
Yeah,
that
we-
out my eyes. I'm like, yo, wait a minute.
We
It's-
got just as many cars full of girls following the pack as we got bikes.
That's
They
They
crazy.
wasn't
hanging out the
riding with us
window,
like
the
that,
sunroof. They
Ooh, you smell like gas.
Nah, yeah, what you doing?
No, they want to get
Go
on the
take a
bike.
shower.
They always follow the pack. You
Yeah.
like sometimes you be having to stop the pack and tell them, look, y'all gotta chill because y'all driving up on our ass. Y'all about to run people over, trying to be in the mix. Y'all gotta calm down. But yeah, we definitely got them.
That's crazy. I mean, I wish we'd have a few girls who really wanted to jump.
And
on
look,
the
and
back
that was the
ride.
sad part about the crazy thing is about it. Like it's 2022. Come up here and ride, and y'all still don't have no groupies.
Nah.
I come up here and ride with the pack. I'll be like, damn.
No, ain't
Nah,
nobody.
nah.
Like, they ain't checking.
I told you what New York think we is. We think we the motherfuckers, man. We always gonna think we the motherfuckers. I don't give a fuck
Man.
what year it be. It could be 2092.
Yo, look, they came to
It's
New
still
York
gonna
one
be
year. I don't know what year that was, Wayne. When we was uptown on my block.
That was something like 14.
2014, right? So they came 2014, and we shut down from 155th to like 152nd.
Okay.
Cars was literally double parked,
Mhm.
bro. So now this is looking like a rucker game.
Right.
Tab, my uncle came over to me and said,
Right.
he said, yo, who is all these niggas over here? I said, these my peoples from B-More. He said, what? How you do that? He said, I never seen this many people. He thought it was a game, but he knew it wasn't a game.
Right.
It was so crowded, but it was just like, you know, I'm such an advocate for the dirt bike culture, but I'm a fan. So I'm just like, I give it up because I'm looking at it like, yo, this shit is crazy because I'm me and you from the era.
No question.
I never seen it the where it is now.
Nah.
So if I'm wrong, just
Nah.
help me.
No, you're not wrong. I mean, when I seen some of the shit that I seen niggas do on bikes, nah, for real, I be like, yo, it gotta be fake, but it's real.
What did you think that was fake?
The
Phenomenal
distance
shit.
one, the one that when motherfuckers was going in and out the traffic, like, you know, we did turns, but niggas wasn't just like I said, it's like they riding a bike with the wheels on the floor, and they so calm. But like you said, opposed to Styles, I look at how they ride because you know when you're in the air, they sit up a little bit more and they kind of grip. They lock their legs on the bike, right?
Yeah.
I seen that right now. If I was coming up and I looked at that style and I was 20,
Yeah, that's what I kept saying.
I probably would be just like y'all because now I see because the bike is in your control from right here.
Right, the body.
So now it's nothing to do that and making sure you in the right gear. Because as long as you know your RPMs when you're in the air, the bike talk to you. It's talking to you. It's really hard to go down. And if you ain't right here to tap, you don't have to. But if they ain't come up having to touch the brakes to 96, no wonder they doing that shit. Tapping the brakes was a cheat sheet for them. That's like going to class with the answers for the test.
What do you do when you see some of the clips?
92, 93, I was already doing every bit of 10 miles, no back brake.
That's retarded.
That wasn't even on the equation.
Heard of. And let me ask you, for you doing that type of distance, what gears would you really be going crazy in to get that distance?
I used to just stay in fourth.
Stay in fourth all the way through.
Just be
rocking with fourth.
Rocking back and forth and forth.
See, that's the thing with us, right? We was so motherfucking young with we
go from point A to point B.
Yeah, going to 6. And that's what I think helped me. This older dude.
All the gears.
Right. And what happened was, and Al could attest, I was like, yo, when I get to 6, if I get too low in the RPMs, it's going down.
Yeah, you're too high to get.
So now what I did, now you can ask Al. Al couldn't believe it. Now I did this shit in 92. I said, fuck it one day.
Down shit.
I hit that shit down.
Yeah.
I said, that shit was back in my chest, but I caught it. And
What it do, Rell?
That shit was in my chest. That shit was in my chest. I said, oh my God. I'm holding this shit, but I cut it back. I said, oh, it's over.
Right.
And that's when my level had changed, right? So I had told Al Capone, he was like, you ain't getting no shit like that. I said, nigga, get on the bike right on the side of me. I'm gonna let the shit go up. Because, you know, we was always hitting gears. You might, for us, it's blocks. So say, for instance, you go to 1, 2, 3. You might get 3 blocks out of 3. Then you get to 4, you're going to get 4, 5 blocks.
Then the other one
but then when you get to 5, if you ain't all the way in, but you shooting through these blocks. These blocks is
you
I'm
shoot past these 6. I'm going to get to 6 blocks.
But the blocks and the people and the shit is coming so fast, you be like, you got to get a little bit more control because if something come out,
you can't stop.
there's nothing you can do.
Right.
And when you put the wheel down, you get
There you go.
Right. There you go.
So all those things, you know, you had to adjust on how you had to ride in the street opposed to riding the highway. And when we was coming up, you know, like you said, you did 4 all the way through. It makes sense to me hearing that.
I would pick up the first, and each gear you'd probably get roughly about a good 3, 4 passes out of each gear.
Right.
Click.
Dip.
And then the coast.
Yeah.
Click.
Right.
Coast a little more. But when I get the 5th, I would just stay there.
Just playing with it.
Gone.
Just stay at that one pace, and I would just go. Everybody used to think I was tapping the brake, and I was like, no, I don't know how to do that.
Tapping the brake. That's what's amazing.
I was like, I don't know how to do that shit. I actually learned how to tap the brake in 2001.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I didn't learn it until 2001.
Now, a question to you. Who helped, like with us, right? We always used to think, because Al was like our book to look at, because, you know, he was always all over the place. So,
doing his hands all over the place.
So, but he would touch the clutch, right? And he was a fan.
He was fan.
But
that
so,
the sound.
Who told you, like, you don't need to touch the clutch no more to keep willing? Like, we didn't, you know, I learned that from
nobody.
Al didn't even touch me.
That was my own style. I just did it on my own. The crazy thing is, all the older people I was around who used to tell me I was doing it wrong. But then when I started passing them, they started looking at me like, hold up.
Right.
But who started The tuning.
The tuning actually came from a guy named Pills.
Pills.
His name Pills. He used to ride, and we used to laugh at him, right? Because like he'll do a wheelie for one light to the next light, and we be sitting like, he done hit the gas 95 goddamn times, and you only went a block. He picked it up, and they put it right down. We sitting there like, you did all of that to go right there, god damn. But then it was like it just started getting trending, but he just kept doing it. Everybody started saying, damn, that shit is kind of dope.
Right.
But he couldn't hold it for a long time.
Right.
But then when he stopped riding, other people just started picking
And they
it
took
up.
on that style.
And just took it on. And
You ever seen that tuning, bro?
Never heard of that shit.
You never seen the tuning?
Only time I heard a nigga tuning, we was doing it ourselves right down the block. To see a nigga doing that shit in the air was crazy too, because it's like, when they doing that shit, how was it not, like...
It's not rocking back and forth. Right, see, we be having an argument and debate with people nowadays, because a lot of people, what they'll do is, they'll press the brake down, take all the power out of the bike, and then they'll start doing it. But they resting their foot on the brake, and I keep telling them, I say, you're cheating.
Right.
And they be like, how is it cheating? How does it say you holding the brake pedal to the floor?
Absolutely.
The bike has no power.
Right.
I said, that's why the sound sounds different than when the person that's doing it correctly is doing it. I said, you're doing it wrong.
I don't mean to interrupt your interview, but Torell's bringing us look in a minute. We'll take it in the middle of our interview. It's fine.
Yeah.
You can give it to us while we're working. No, you can bring it to us. It's okay. Thank you.
Bring in the
Now,
Patoro.
you take one out, man. That's Patoro, man. That's our sponsor right here. Patoro. Yeah. They just pull up and bring stuff and interrupt us. It don't matter.
Yeah, I like what y'all doing though. Like bringing the awareness.
You like it?
To the world of bike life. Kids in the cities. I don't know whatever they into. The one thing I know is universal.
Right.
When you get on a motherfucking bike,
it's Patoro right here.
You think about
Thank you, Patoro.
Nothing.
Thank you, Rell.
You think
Rell.
No, all right. You think about nothing, and the mind state of what you're in when you're on the bike and whatever you got going on at that particular time, if it's for 3 hours, 4 hours, don't mean nothing. It's all about you and that bike and having fun with the people around you and showing out. And, that take a lot of kids off the streets for that particular time.
Yeah.
And a lot of motherfucking lives probably was safe from being on these bikes too at those
A lot of
times.
people will say that. They be like, man, if I ain't start riding bikes, I don't know what the hell I'd have been doing. Because a lot of them would get bored and start doing things.
Dangerous. Like our eras, like the 80s era was very dangerous in New York City. Baltimore was already known as the dangerous era. I remember Al Capone was like, yo, we gonna go to B-More ride. I was like, you out your mind. Right. Ain't nobody doing that. It's like Bloods and Crips. But for me riding out there with them for so long, it's just I've never caught that type of energy because it's so much. I'm more of a fan and just at peace, but at the same thing, we rode bikes and we was at peace. No matter how dangerous Harlem was at that time.
Didn't matter.
Now we be in the pack, and you look back for his ass gone back to the house.
I don't go back. I ride I'm going back to the crib.
Hey, look,
anybody say Shay? Man, Shay left about an hour ago.
Yeah, I was just telling Tom on offset that I bought a 2021 YZ last year.
He ordered it. Matter of fact,
yeah, you had ordered it for me, but we didn't get it. We had wound up getting it up here. So I get on the bike. I'm thinking it's 92.
I heard
jump on this bitch.
Straight up in the air.
Straight in the air. I mean, right off the street. And
I
came down, and I said, all right, this is it.
You want to know what? Why we took a liking to the YZ125? Because when they discontinued the CR, that's the closest thing that felt like that CR.
Closest thing, no question.
With better brakes.
Yes, no question. I never, like I said, I stopped riding so early in the game because after Al went to the 125, and I had bought the 125 and the shit was a limit. I bought a CR 125 from Steve and them.
All CR 125s is limits.
My shit went out. I tried to go take it back. They gave me half the money back, and I said, "Fuck it, I'm not even ordering another one." And then I got off of it.
I would never buy a CR 125. I don't care what year it is. Them things was always hard.
Yeah, that shit was terrible. And then after that, I just got off the bike scene with it. But at that particular time when I got off, I was at a level I ain't gonna lie. You know what?
No, you was.
I tell niggas all the time. Everybody got their place. Al to us is numero uno, and I ain't gonna lie. For when we came up, that's who we benchmarked ourselves. Him and Tom, right? They was like the benchmark. Then we had a little white boy Vinny.
Right.
He was a little nice over. He had a YZ old school.
I'm still mad at Al though for leaving us.
What he did? What Al? He left y'all where?
We had a ride. It was a ride here for James.
Oh, okay.
And we in the back, and he pulls out his bike. Of course, he ain't been riding it for a long time, and of course, it's not running right.
Oh,
Right. So I did a magician trick, and I fixed this bike at the riding spot with no tools.
wow.
I like literally got a piece of speaker wire from somebody's car system. Somebody had some pliers. I took the carburetor apart, took the jets out, cleaned this carburetor and stuff right there on the spot, put his bike, but the guy said, test it real quick to see if it's running right. He took off and never came back. We sitting there waiting for him to test the bike, and he literally left all of us. I said, he done left us. He in Queens.
Right.
We still sitting at the meetup spot like, the hell just happened here? Yeah, he left all of us.
Nah, bro, it was definitely from the era. Like now, could you? I'm so glad you're here right now. What was our pack numbers like for dirt bikes in there? What was the most we had in the pack?
I'll tell you the most we probably had in the pack, and that's when niggas get together, probably about 10 to 12. You know what I'm saying? For real. And I mean, you got to get 3 here. You might pick up 2 off 8th. You might go to the east side, pick up another 1 or 2, and you look up, you got 10, maybe 10. You know what I'm saying?
Strong.
And then the thing about it, it's not like it's 10 riders. It's just 10 motherfuckers on bikes.
Right.
It's a difference. Like, me, Al, Ali, Junior Black, or Shay, or anybody who wrote, or James, we would know, like, if a nigga put a signal up,
We're going to
or
east
we're
side.
going to left, or make a
right.
right, slow up a little bit. Then you got this one nigga who don't know nothing. He coming up hot. And crashing everything. Boom.
It's still one of them.
Like
It's still one of them in the pack all the time. You putting the hand signals up, and here he comes.
And he come banging up 4 or 5 niggas,
right into a car.
Right to everything and fucking up the ride. So,
like a bowling ball.
No ride.
Knocking everybody down.
Don't know nothing about riding and shit. So it's like, us having a pack was like, yo, we got to make sure we guide these motherfuckers, because if not, they going to jam us up.
How you feel about the chase game?
Oh, the chase game back then was heavy for us too, but we used to, because it was
fun.
It was fun for us.
I heard y'all had this one cop that used to chase y'all down the sidewalks real crazy.
They talk about the green car.
Yeah, the
green
burgundy
car.
and the green, all that.
It was a burgundy car.
The burgundy car. The burgundy car used to chase us all the time.
Say he used to chase people down the sidewalks, everything.
He didn't give a fuck.
Junior used to kick the car.
I'm about to say, Junior and Al kicked the shit. At one time, Al was on the side. I was like, yo, all we doing is out here. Al with his, his voice. We just trying to have a little fun. You guys want to come and fuck our time up and have a good time? And kick the car and just start hitting him. We like, oh shit, niggas doing that and going the other way. And then after that, that's when they started really getting on us real crazy, because they kicked the car. Him and Junior kicked the car. And it was over.
Me riding in Baltimore, I consider it like you robbing the bank.
Why you say that?
That's how chases be.
That's how deep the chase goes.
That's how the chases.
It's like if me and you went and robbed the bank.
And they call it all cars.
The bird, they helicopters call the bird.
Oh my God.
So you got the helicopter, you got the dirt bike task force chasing, and it's on.
And it's like wild cowboys. They got task force trucks with crash bars on them just to run you over. Wow. The passengers literally hanging out of the window. Trying to shoot you with a taser at full speed. He's pop, pop. You see, what? Ducking tasers. This shit is crazy.
Coaches did. So how do you? I mean, like.
That's why I don't ride. That's the answer to that, right? Like, I mean, of course, being a little bit older and not being as courageous, cat many miles as we were, when you hear shit like that, even though I got a bike, I wouldn't even want to come outside.
Right.
Because I'm not that I would feel I would get caught riding. I don't think I would get caught riding.
Do you still consider yourself a fan of the culture?
Absolutely. I wouldn't have bought a bike if I wasn't a fan. It's a lifetime love for the game of bike riding. It's always going to be there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'll never not want to ride a bike. I might not want to wheelie it, but I'll never not want to ride it.
I don't think I can actually ride a bike without wheeling it.
And that's how I feel. That's why I couldn't get back on.
Like, nah.
Right. That's what you.
This is why I left. That's what it is.
Right.
That's what it is, Shay. Because if you rode bikes like us up here at this panel, and you were a wheelie at any particular time in your life, it's like sex. Like, I ain't gonna be my nigga girl and I ain't gonna put it in. Right, I gotta put it in.
That's
right?
one way to
right?
put it.
Think about it, right? I'm not trying to be rude or nothing, but that's how I feel on a bike. I'm not gonna not try to put it up. There's no way I'm not gonna try you.
There's some phenomenal dudes coming out of your hood, like what's son?
A whip son named Lou. Lou is tough.
Lennox Lou. Yeah, that boy nice.
That boy tough.
Lou phenomenal.
Yeah, Lou is tough.
He's probably he's a part of my crew and all that, and they do their thing, but he is definitely in that top 5, top New York 10 category.
Yeah, and he universal.
Very
universal. He moves around.
Yeah.
4-wheeler and dirt bike.
Yeah. He's been doing it.
See, Junior Black was never a benchy rider. ATV ride.
Nah, he
Junior
had the
was
fat cat.
motorcycles and dirt bikes, and he rode a fat
He
cat.
had a fat cat.
You know what I'm saying? But Junior was just so. Thing about Junior Black that people don't realize, he was just blatantly just raw rider, didn't care about RPMs and all that. He didn't
The
care
fat
about
cat
style.
was never fun.
The fat cat
It was just something to have.
I can't even believe
he
he had a fat cat.
But we couldn't believe it. We was like, you riding this big tire bike? What
it
are
was
you
just
doing?
something to have, just to say I got it.
But you
That's
couldn't
all.
give him a brand new bike.
You can't
He
give
was a
him
Hulk. You're not
anything.
gonna get it back.
But that was, to tell you the truth, that really helped Junior's Willie game. Because he had that little fat cut up in there all day, that little slow ass
Until he
shit.
got on one of our bikes.
Yeah, when he got on one, I was just a little bit.
If you let
messed up.
Junior, let me get a spin, consist of,
You gonna
I'll
burn
see
your
this
bike out.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Black gonna have my bike for 2 weeks, man. I told you, he brought it back. I had to go pick it up from Douglas out the apartment.
Mhm.
Pistons gone and all that shit. But you know, we loved you. But that's Junior Black, right? Like Al Capone being who he is on far as how he rode. That's Al. God bless Ali.
Right.
Ali was Ali. You know what I'm saying? He had that energy and that power drive too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then Tom was kind of like swaggy too. With
Yeah,
it.
but Tom was like the first person I really seen with that back brake. Heavy.
Yeah, Tom was the back
Heavy.
brake man.
Heavy.
You know, I think Tom and Al for coming around the block. You know, how two niggas is nice and you like this. How small the bike world was when we was coming up. Tom and Al was the bike dudes. They had bikes. So when we bought a brand new bike, it was a KX. Him and Al come around here, they doing wheelies, you know, one in off, one ride. And I said to my man Stan, God bless his soul, I said, yo, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna get like these niggas, man, because there's no way they're gonna come around in front of us like this ever again.
They came to the block in front of us.
Front on us to the 10 power, you know what I'm saying? Niggas took me on, you know, so I'm riding with them the first day we get the bike. So we riding down 7th, we cut off on 51st, we go up on the sidewalk and they go down the steps by the rooftop, right? Him and Al is on the bike. So, you know, the steps is dumb steep. I stopped on the brake like a motherfucker.
I walking down the stairs.
What? They're like, come on, man. I'm like, nah. And I go, I said, I'll meet y'all when y'all
You
come
had your
back
shirt
around.
on?
This is the beginning phase. Yeah, you know, them dudes had a different type of swag, but like I said, they was the motivation. That's why I was asking you when you came up, what motivated you to not, you know, like hit the clutch? Who was that person that was doing something? Besides the older dudes that you said that you would pass them when they told you was doing it wrong.
I was always around all the older dudes, always, because my uncle was the city's bike mechanic.
Okay.
So every person who had money who bought dirt bikes, no matter what part of Baltimore City it was from, they was at my grandmother's house in the backyard getting their bike fixed. So I know everybody already. And I used to pay attention. I used to watch everybody's style and all that. And I would try my own. And then I found my own style that I felt like was comfortable. And I just ran with it. And that's when I started trying to go with them. Like, I'm trying to go ride with them. I'm always like, look, you can go, but y'all make sure y'all bring him back here.
How many was in the pack back then when you was young?
It depends. On a good day, they'd probably come out somewhere around about 25.
We ain't even had that number.
No,
And the crazy thing, they used to trip me out. Back then, they used to ride in formations. Like, real shit. Like, the Hondas would be in the front. Kawasaki's would be on the side, Yamaha's would be on the side, and the Suzuki's would be in the back. And they would come up the avenue just like that in the formation, and nobody was allowed to pass each other.
That's crazy.
How long y'all stayed with the Hondas? 'Cause Hondas was y'all stamp.
Hondas was always the stamp.
Right.
The only time, it was only a couple years that people switched from Hondas. From when Suzuki made that RM80 with the Kellers in it, the 92. With all the fluorescent colors in it.
I remember that one.
A lot of people ran and bought those.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, you know, Suzuki's always been trash.
They're trash.
But that bike was so appealing that people ran and bought it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The YZ, when they switched their body style in 93, and they made that purple and the pink and all that, people ran and bought that.
Yeah.
So it was appealing, so they had to buy it. But other than that, it was always CRs, nonstop. Always CRs.
Tom and James and them had
KXs,
RMs. We had
KXs was selling just as much as CRs back then, though.
Right.
Always.
KXs, CRs.
And most people bought KXs only bought KXs because they always made a big wheel.
Right. Right.
Only thing I ain't like about the KX, the power bands, it was
limited.
It was real short, but they strong, but
they was limited.
Show it.
But see, what I used to do, when I was riding KXs, what I used to do to mine was, you know, KXs made a 100. So what I used to do was I would always buy the KX 80. I would put the KX 100 cylinder on it, and then I would change the gearing in my sprocket. So my KX was actually beating CRs, and they was like, "What the fuck you do to that?" And I was like, "Don't worry about it.
Let's get it on."
Yeah,
so, bro, what you think about the culture, man? Your take.
And I think the culture is in a good place, man, for these young kids that's coming up. And, you know, like we always used to look at motocross, and I think what y'all doing is making the culture come from street cross. Fuck motocross, you know, it's the street
Look,
cross.
I created my own. It's called Hood Cross.
Yeah, hood cross. Yeah, it's incredible because the things that you do, these kids are doing on these bikes are movie worthy, are internet sensation worthy. And what it does, it carries over. Like y'all just had, you know, some guys that's from Syracuse, from Woods, that's coming to inner cities that want to be a part of
They were phenomenal
what we're doing.
kids.
And they on a whole nother level from what I heard that they can do, right? But that reach wouldn't be what it is if it didn't start from the Baltimores and the New Yorks, because the culture is that huge. And the things that you guys, I'm gonna give y'all a credit because the things that y'all doing bikes was like, it's like epic. It's like the blueprint for everybody
and that's
else.
exactly what it kind of was. It was a blueprint. Everybody tried to talk, I've been doing this and been doing that.
It wasn't done.
Like, we brought the shit to the table.
Yes.
And made you want to do this stuff. You might have stepped it up a notch, but you ain't had no idea jumping around all that crazy on the bike until you seen it done.
Yeah, no
What
question.
You mean,
What are you talking about?
What you mean take your hands off?
You seen kids down there, they no hand and touching the ground with two hands. Nobody was thinking about that stuff.
I couldn't, like I said, it still was unbelievable. But what y'all did was y'all created a lane that's bringing an audience that's way wider than the streets. It's worldwide. It's global. I was in Jamaica in December. This no bullshit. Dude is on a motherfucking like a moped load like thing.
Motor countries they call it.
Them things, man. I seen them.
This nigga was coming from 125th Street. I'm looking. I'm like, hold on. What is he on? He got this shit just playing with it all through just the dirt road.
Doing the swag.
And the December, right? I'm talking about just this December I was there.
Right.
And I'm looking, I'm like, yo, this shit is.
They be swerving on them things all crazy, turning the corner, looking like, damn.
We got a young boy in Africa, GHB Don. He in Tanzania.
And going crazy.
Dog. I mean, he ride like, but you have to understand what you're saying is that they didn't get a chance to come to New York or Baltimore. They watch this on the internet.
Yes.
Exactly.
Studying it and going, I got
absolutely.
it.
Yep. Studied all of it on the internet.
The global impact of having the culture.
Let me ask you a question, because we are from that era, and he's from this era as well. Mm-hmm. Do you see, would it be possible for us to ride dirt bikes in the city of Baltimore in our era, the 80s?
Would it be possible for us to ride bikes?
Me, you, and 10 of us gonna go out there and go ride with them.
I don't think we would have felt comfortable.
88.
No, I don't think we would have felt comfortable.
that's the point.
We wouldn't have felt comfortable.
So do you feel that? Forget, because we know it was ugly.
Right.
It ain't even so much as Baltimore. You probably wouldn't have felt comfortable doing it in no other state for real.
Nah.
You're not trailing your bike to Miami and just gonna pull.
Yeah, I mean that's the point, because I don't
did it anywhere.
Well, not just Baltimore.
You would have did it anywhere.
But I'm tapping into it because it was ugly.
Right.
I'm just tapping because it was ugly. But I mean, the positive side is like, do you see like look what's created?
Absolutely, that's what I mean. It's a global impact on what the urban communities have created for the world, and it brings all dimensions of people together because it's happening all over the world. Bikes is a powerful thing.
It's a bond.
It brings you together.
You're not killing nobody for the day.
Nah, unless you ace yourself out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And the thing about it is, like I said, it takes your mind mentally to no place that you ever want to be, but on that bike at that particular time. And when you with your group of dudes, and if you see somebody out doing what you're doing, you want to do it, or you want to
step your game up.
And that's the beauty in the culture, right? Because that trickles on from city to city, from country to country, and it's just continuing
I'm watching
to
it
grow.
in the city. When I see California have a ride out, I'm like, you still have a ride out on the West Coast?
That's dope.
Yeah,
crazy.
Dope, man.
That was just
dope.
They was in Cali. I'm sitting there looking like,
I would never do that.
who is leading the pack?
Right.
I need to know.
Right.
Because
I
need to know who we following before I start following.
I was in, what's that? We didn't go to that part of the tour. I can't think of where Little Joe from?
I don't even remember.
Over there, Cali, I don't know, whatever part of Cali he was in.
He from the Bay Area.
The Bay Area. Okay. I'm sorry, he's in the Bay Area. Little Joe. So Fetty had a concert. We was with Fetty on the tour. So we went with him to ride. Man, make a long story short, we get a chase in the Bay Area. So Fetty didn't know really, we wasn't two-stroke savvy, four-stroke savvy, two-wheel strap savvy. I'm like, give me the bike. All right. Yo, I got chased in the Bay Area.
Wow.
So while I'm going fast as hell to get from point A to point B, they're like, yo, slow down. You You definitely got it. We couldn't catch you, dog. I'm in the Bay Area,
Right, I don't know
fam. I don't know where the
going.
fuck I'm
going,
at.
right.
Got these, I'm out of here. Y'all
Y'all
playing.
play around.
I'm out. The time the dude caught me, he was like, yo, you got it, yo.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
I was like,
You
dog,
wasn't there?
I ain't go.
I'm out. Because I'm thinking Cali.
Right.
No, I got to bust a move real quick. Tuck this joint somewhere because I
Right.
don't know nobody's house to go to.
Right.
And chill.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when they see where the coach is going and different stuff like that, but
It's amazing.
to have
man.
you here, Rell, is just
It's
really
amazing,
dope, man.
man.
Because like you're just a true historian.
No question. And a lot of people, like I said, don't know me for bikes. You know what I'm saying? Because I did ride. You know, I'm still standing on. I'm the first nigga to do a mile in New York on a dirt bike. I mean, I only got. I was there. He the one told me.
What was you riding then?
I see y'all. Al was on the side of me when I did it. He told me.
Get your shirt on?
Yeah, I had my shirt on. Al said the funniest shit, right? When I was willing, we was on the Deegan. You know, when you get on right there. So I hit it, right?
We gotta change the name.
Please
of the
clear it
Deegan.
up that you was on the Deegan.
I don't know.
No, we got
87. We was on 87.
We gotta change the name of the Deegan. I own the Deegan now.
Yeah, that's yours. You own the Bruckner, all that shit. You run around.
You gonna give it to me?
Nah, no bullshit. I seen that video, bro, and I seen Al in the front, just like
Tell me where the street turns.
Tell me like the street turn. He had right here's gonna be a deep turn. Like he made the turn coming down the hill on the Bruckner right there. That little turn. I don't know what you was doing. I don't know what you broke it down to make that turn. No bullshit. And then I saw you still going. I said, this shit is amazing, amazing. And because we can't even think about y'all going down hills to us is like foreign because we don't have many hills.
Right.
So our hill would be 41st Street Hill.
45th.
Right.
45th
That's
Street.
not really a hill.
So we
It's
might
just going down.
we might come down there once in a blue, but ain't nobody was coming down from Amsterdam all the way down the hill.
You wasn't even going up there.
Nigga might go to Edgecombe and come down
that little
dip.
yeah.
I'm looking on joints with y'all coming down 4 hills like on a highway. And the credit with y'all is that y'all do got that space. Like to have that type of space with those hills is amazing too. We did this shit in confined.
Yeah, y'all traffic
is
like,
retarded.
the
like
blocks,
you
the
got
lights. You gotta know the lights.
How the light turn red and you be like red.
Yeah.
Be like, damn.
You gotta read this shit, man, and you gotta worry about it.
And then we ride at a fast pace. So coming up here to be riding slow, it always bothered us. And then when they would come down there to ride with us, they be like, can y'all, like when Al first came out, he was like, y'all gotta slow it down a bit. We can't get no blocks. So we like, slow down.
Right.
We don't ride slow.
Right.
He like, nah, y'all is going too fast.
But that's the reason why y'all so dope with it, right? Because y'all used to that high end and that high speed. We used to being like on a slow because we don't have enough space.
Yeah, because the next light is ready to turn red.
Right. We don't have enough space to get it. That's why when we came up to do to get into distance, the highway was the only place you really could
And
get.
it seemed like y'all highways only open up at night.
Yeah, it do.
Yeah.
In the daytime, it's like it's still
A little bit of traffic.
still
Depending
back
on
to
the
back.
day.
Yeah, until you make that chain for you when you're on the highway and you put the 4 bikes across.
Yeah,
Yeah, right, and that's what they always do. You guys up there in block traffic.
You got to
and-
block
yeah.
traffic and you got to let them go. And
Yeah.
that's because I was one of those people they did it for back then. And I only had one little tape, but I don't know what his tape is at when I did it.
I would have loved to have some footage.
Yeah, I would have loved to have the footage.
You know they're gonna
too.
be like, "Oh, where's the
Where's the
footage of
footage?
this
Footage
guy?"
out, yeah, where's the
believe
footage?
you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
y'all
y'all
need
don't
more
got no
people.
shirt on.
Yeah,
That's
I
all
mean-
y'all need to concern you about.
But you know, the people who know, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, God bless Al, God bless Black. I can't really, get people to stand on it. But like Al Capone is here. And like I said, my first time doing a mile, he was right there. That nigga's he said, Al, he's like,
Look, put it like this. You wouldn't be here with this microphone if we didn't believe you.
oh, no,
Oh yeah,
question.
you are who you are, and that's
No
why you're
question.
here. And I'm
Definitely.
glad you get to see it from a different standpoint. I'm glad you get
Yeah,
to see
keep doing
that
what y'all doing,
some of these
man.
brothers get to ride in, killing each other right now.
Absolutely.
Gonna
man.
offer him a shot.
Oh, man, I'm not drinking. If y'all want to put some cranberry. And I'm a drinker.
We got to offer it to you.
I know that.
I'm a drinker.
We got to offer it to you. That's all.
Yeah,
Gotta
I
offer
do.
it to you.
I do drink, right? And I'm just not drinking right now. But because we here and because we want to push the culture and we want to make sure Peturo get a nice thing, put a little coconut in there. Man. Hey, I ain't gonna do that to the
Just something light?
Yeah,
All
do something like it's over
Something
here. Is
light.
this coconut?
One of those open
It's
already.
right here, bro.
Yeah. What's this? This one.
That
one
one
was
closed.
open.
I think this one.
No, the one was open.
Yeah,
'Cause-
right here.
okay, yeah.
There's a little bit of coconut, though.
Yeah, no, that's good.
That's too much right there.
Yeah, that's
I want
good.
you to start acting
Nah,
wild. Don't tear my shit up.
Nah,
again,
I'm
man.
just gonna take this man and say y'all doing an incredible thing, man. And it's good to have people who really did it doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like I always used to be mad at NBA announcers who was talking about how basketball should be that never.
Do
played the
Stephen A.
game.
Smith ever play sports?
He played a little sports, you know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about like back in the days. Back in the days, it was nobody that really was playing the game that was announcing these games. Marv
Right.
Albert and all these dudes talking about our sport and how we should play it. But to have y'all two really came from the culture, really bringing that awareness about what the culture is and what it's like and how it was to be in it, and to push it forward.
Who would think we'd have a podcast about dirt bike riding?
Hey,
Rell?
no, you and Wayne. That's why y'all here, right? That's who, man. But salute to y'all, man, and thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it, man.
No shirt.
Shout out, no shirt for sure.
Well, Mackie, let's take a ride.
No question.
I know this bike life, I know what this life like. I'm flipping that throttle, streets got me feeling like Mike. Right, I'm talking 8th Ave to Cherry Hill. For years they heard about the stories and we legends still. Let's take a ride from my side to your side. Let's take this worldwide. Let's take a ride. Ooh, let's take a ride. Oh, this for Willie Wayne and this for Shay. Let's take a ride. Ooh, let's take a ride.